Hi, this is Justine, and I'm a full-time self-published book author, media and creative consultant, and a freelance writer. Welcome to this presentation. You might be wondering who I am and why I have published 4 personal development self-help books and what qualifies me to have written those books in the first place and launched them into the marketplace where copies are already selling already. And to my wonderful readers who have purchased copies, thank you ever so much. In practicing what I preach, I'm ever so grateful, so thank you very much again. I first became a freelance writer 2 years ago. It was back in September 2011. It's now November 2013. I'm putting this presentation together, and I'm really fortunate for this great life that has come on the back of this with a lot of hard work and also a lot of rewards. Prior to becoming a freelance writer, I did work in law briefly, and I'd also spent some time in natural medicine after completing my Bachelor of Business degree at university. I realised that I could only help one patient at a time. As much as I loved the healing profession and I loved working in medicine, it just did take its toll sometimes as well. Even though I was fortunate to be certified as a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner and also a certified clinical hypnotherapist. And also during that time, I also invested well over $40,000 in my own personal development over a 6-year period. And prior to that, I was also in the corporate world in various management positions. I had experiences in account management, human resources, marketing, and IT project management to name, as well as having had a bit of a law experience before I decided that corporate world wasn't for me. I didn't want to have a job ever again, and that's why the freelance world really found me actually at the time while I was living in Melbourne. 6 months later, when I first became a freelance writer, that's when I got my lucky break in the mainstream press, and I was flying back and forth between Sydney and Melbourne, and that's what brought on writing my first book called Love, Gratitude, Abundance, Life. There was a lot of idle time on the planes on Monday morning as I was doing my commute from Melbourne to Sydney. Even after having breakfast or before having breakfast that was offered to me, I just took out my laptop and I started writing away. Not long after, I was offered a book publishing contract for the Problem Solvers Bible by a Sydney-based publisher who now lives in Paris. Now back to Love, Gratitude, Abundance, Life for a moment. Love, Gratitude, Abundance, Life is really special. It's an 170,000 word ebook that encompasses 16 different life lessons that we all need to take in order to manifest more abundance and prosperity in your life. I cover the major universal laws. I do go beyond the universal law of attraction, and I also share my wisdom from the 6 years of personal development study that I had to encounter. So I take the very best, so you don't have to invest $40,000 in your own personal development like I had to. And I also answer the most frequently asked questions to my therapy patients over a 5-year period, and I answer them in easy to understand essay style format. This book can be quite repetitive, however repetition is a mother of skill, and it's ensuring that the information does absorb like a sponge into your unconscious mind to eradicate positive changes to the better. So anyone from any walk of life will really benefit from this book. So for example, take your health and your finances. Say you currently rate your health on a scale of 1 to 10, you give it a 2, and your finances say on the same scale an 8 out of 10. You'll note that if you're drawing the wheel of life, it would be pretty unbalanced at this point. No, you can't drive a car with an unbalanced wheel, neither can you live an abundant life when all areas of your life are not in sync, they're not in balance. From personal experience and professionally, you definitely can have it all, and that's what Love, Gratitude, Abundance, Life is setting out to achieve. Now to the Problem Solvers Bible, my second manuscript. I've taken 5 case studies. I've covered various areas like divorce, alcoholism, business issues, and not having that work-life balance, health issues, and really contrasting what happens to those people who do solve their problems, that make that effort to solve their problems and get out the rut they're in, as opposed to those that don't, where the problems just amplify. Now the thing is, we're going to have problems because if we're alive, something would be wrong if you didn't have problems. You've got a pulse, and that's a positive thing. I also share some pearls of wisdom as to why problems are great. You want quality problems because they enable you to grow and break through. And there's some problems that you just don't want to have and how to avoid them like the plague. It's a necessary book for everyday living. It's a pivotal guidebook for sure. Now that leads on to my third manuscript, a memoir called Justine Tragedy to Triumph. Now the most painful writing project I've ever had to endure. I wrote this manuscript as part of a 3-day novel writing contest, and from the get-go, my body was responding to what was coming out, my childhood. Like, I was healing myself from my childhood. I was healing myself from other shits that I experienced in the past. And like, I used to get nosebleeds when I was a child, a lot. And funnily enough, at 32, my nose was bleeding, and normally it does not bleed. Like, it hasn't bled in a long, long time otherwise. So I became really sick as I was putting this memoir together. And 7 hours later, naturally, I had enough. I had enough of blood all over my keyboard, for instance, and sniffles and all sorts of yucky. Anyway, I won't go there. And amazingly enough, I still submitted this book in the contest where the ultimate prize is a publishing contract. And even though I wasn't awarded the contract because I didn't complete the whole contest, I was still given an award for my achievements. So I found that really remarkable. It's an incredible journey from a really crappy, dull past where I should be living on the streets, I should have been in jail, I should have been in a refuge, in one of those three situations, to now living in a really amazing life where I'm working in an industry that attracts a 90% dropout rate, and I'm earning a 6-figure income doing what I absolutely love, even though it is hard work. I do live life on my own terms as much as possible, where I can work whenever I want, and in most cases whoever I want to work with. And I also live in an amazing spacious house in Sydney that I've almost paid off. I also own rental properties, and I do get to travel and enjoy nice possessions and clothing, to name as well. So I have come a long way, although it hasn't been easy, and this memoir is very inspirational, where I feel that I've acted as a positive role model to many people, and it's, you know, many people have had similar adversities, and that there is a way out, there is a way up. That leads to the fourth and final manuscript, Your Pandora's Boxes to Abundance. Now, it was a sister publisher that offered me the contract for Love, Gratitude, Abundance, Life, invited me to submit another book for consideration for publication with them, which is what I did. I just missed out on the contract, even though, funnily enough, Your Pandora's Boxes to Abundance is actually my personal bestseller at the moment, in line with Love, Gratitude, Abundance, Life. It was so nice just taking a week off work and just devoting this time to this book after I'd finished renovating 2 houses earlier this year. And I made up 2 fictional characters, one male, one female, to balance things out. And I purport that there's 9 different Pandora's boxes to abundance in your life. So once you've overcome self-sabotage, then there's other areas to consider as well. And it's more a focus on your thoughts. Inharmonious thoughts keep doors locked, or they keep changing the locks, so you're keeping that locksmith really busy all the time. And harmonious thoughts give you those keys to abundance. No different, take up the keys to your house, to the treasure chest of greatness that lies within all of us, and that also, most importantly, lies within you. You just need to untap it. And that's where I'm here to help you, like your mentor, your confidant, if you want to look at it that way. I mean, there's no accident why you've stumbled across this presentation. Everything does happen for a reason. So I invite you to download my ebooks. Ideally buy them. If you'd like to sample them first, then by all means go ahead and sample. But otherwise, it's a great investment you can make. The best investment you can always make is definitely within yourself. And the good news is you don't have to invest $40,000 in your own personal development like I had to get to where I am today in order to enjoy a really beautiful life. Like an amazing life where, sure, there's problems, there's still frustrations, there's still setbacks, still a lot of hard work, yet it's 20 times rewarding, absolutely. So that's me, Justine, the author of 4 books here on Smashwords. Have a lovely day. You absolutely deserve it. And to your abundance and prosperity, thank you again. Keep well.